Hey y'all, back again, making another video. So today, this video is going to be about me explaining the lore of my Dragon Ball OC. Now, a lot of people has made lore videos about the Dragon Ball OC, but what I have in store for y'all is going to be really interesting, and I really hope y'all like it. Now, my character has his own twists and whatnot. And let me also be honest with y'all, it's also a Saiyan. Right, so the Super Saiyan, but it's Super Saiyan has its own little twist. And you will see why when I start explaining it. But anyway, let's quit the talking and get into the storytelling. So, before we get into this, let me depict the world for you. It is pretty much set in the world of xenoverse, where the time patrollers are there. You know, there's many different races and whatnot. Supreme Guy time patroller academies where people of age 8 go to. You know, and go through the academy system, and then when they get out, they are official time patrollers. But so now you understand that. Now let's get into the storytelling lore of Ace. Ace is a male Saiyan. His parents are two proud Saiyan warriors. Obviously, one a male and the other one a female. They do not have names because I really didn't come up with names for them. But you know. So the male Saiyan and the female Saiyan, the two proud Saiyan warriors, they settle down and they have a baby, which they name Ace. Ace is a male Saiyan. He has white skin. Well, it's white skin, but a bit tannish. He has dark brown hair and dark brown eyes. During this time when he was growing up, his father mostly is the one that trained him and taught him everything he knew. Well, his mother, she simply just took care of him. Pretty basic, right? I know. So, by the time that he eventually gets old enough to go into the academy, the parents had to go to his doctor, to get some paper documents for the Time Patroller Academy to know and to see, this and whatnot, see if he has any of the diseases or maybe some generics or something that will make him act different from the others. You get the gist. But sadly, when they got to the doctor and the doctor examined him and whatnot, he reveals a unsettling truth to the parents and the child. The child's generics would not allow him, Ace, to transform beyond Super Saiyan 2. Which, keep in mind, he doesn't have access to the transformations yet. Right. But the doctor said his generics wouldn't allow him to go past above Super Saiyan 2, which is a hindrance / disability. So, he marks it down on the paper, and, the parents are kind of disappointed that their child is hindered by such generics. But they kept going. They still have faith in him. Right, so he goes into the academy. Smack dab into the academy. About to train and about to give these hands, what I mean? About to get the hands. 2 years has passed. He is now 10 years old. He has access to Super Saiyan 1. Right? And this is where the unique thing starts to happen. While other people were able to transform into Super Saiyan 1 more easier, for Ace, on the other hand, it was a bit harder. But when he did transform, the Time Patroller Academy teachers immediately picked up that there was something different about his Super Saiyan transformation. Now, yes, it's just a regular Super Saiyan transformation. You know, the blonde hair, the blonde aura. Right. But for some reason, it was just stronger than usual. Like it has been amped by something. Now, keep in mind that Ace was never born with a tail, so he doesn't have access to the Great Ape form or Akari. So he was pretty much kind of like the Sadala Saiyans in a sense. But, you know, like I said, for some reason his Super Saiyan is stronger than, you know, the other students' Super Saiyan, like it's been amped by something. So, the teachers watch him carefully, help him with this and whatnot to understand the transformation and how he can utilize it. And, you know, he keep on going. 2 years passed. Yes, another 2-year time skip, where now he is 12 years old. And now he has access to Super Saiyan 2. But here comes the other thing that starts to begin really worrying the teachers. His Super Saiyan 2 rivals that of Super Saiyan 3. And keep in mind, this is his first time transforming into the Super Saiyan 2. It ain't like he's already been with the Super Saiyan 2 and just trained it. Nah, he just unlocked Super Saiyan 2 and yet is on par with a Super Saiyan 3 user. A mastered Super Saiyan 3 user. The teachers were a little bit stunned back and they thought that maybe he, I don't know, did some secret practicing, but that really isn't the case. It's just like that the teachers were just like, I don't know what's going on, Teach. I don't know. Like, I thought me with my generics being hindrance from me going beyond Super Saiyan 2 is supposed to, you know, hinder me and be a disability. The teachers looked at them with a confusion, but then they started to connect the dots. What if this boy's generics may have caused it the benefit where he can't go beyond Super Saiyan 2, but made it where his Super Saiyan 2 is a catalyst where he could potentially become stronger in that transformation if he just trained with it. Now, during this time, you know, him being 12, there is bunch of 12-year-olds with Super Saiyan, you know, with Super Saiyan 3 running around because of the generics just being a prodigy at this point, right? And I mean, we are talking about in the world of xenoverse, so I mean, what the fuck do you expect? I mean, literally, our Cax can rival fucking Beerus without a fucking hinge. So, I mean, like, what you expect? But, anyway, like I said, you know, a bunch of 12-year-olds running around with Super Saiyan 3, right? And, you know, the students obviously were making fun of him, and let's keep in mind, there was also some adults, you know, the teachers were also kind of making fun of him as well. He didn't let that stop him. Instead, he took his Super Saiyan 2 and he trained it. He grinded his butt off that grindstone, trying to see if there was a way to go beyond it. You know, trying to find his own way, which sadly never come. Because 2 years, well, actually, 4 years has passed. Yes, a 4-year time skip, which will make him now 16. He's 16, he's fully mastered the Super Saiyan 2 transformation, and his power is quite high. It's not something to just scoff at. He easily whooped a lot of Super Saiyan 3 users with just the back of his hand. But when the students finally were able to go to Super Saiyan 4 and, Super Saiyan God, well, the teachers got worried for his sake and started to withdraw him from the Time Patrol Academy, which obviously distraughted him. It really pissed him off that they were already making decisions for him that he didn't consent to. His anger and frustration hit him really hard, pissed him off to the teetotally limit, and he just cursed himself and the damn world around him. That's when a golden prodigy of the Time Patrol Academy, one at 16, and already got Super Saiyan Blue. Actually, the first Time Patroller Academy to reach Super Saiyan Blue at age 16. The boy comes down and makes some harsh comments, saying that he's nothing but a disgrace and failure to the Saiyan people and race, and he should just off himself. Harsh words, I know. But keep in mind, that is a possibility. Because, we are talking about, technically, in a sense of a real life scenario with children nowadays, but you get what I mean. This sets something off in Ace. His pride, his being, and his very essence were just insulted. He wouldn't take such disrespect, but he knew he couldn't do anything against it. Because, the prodigy boy was literally fucking stronger than him. This just added anger and fuel to his rage. And just about when the teachers were about to step in and pull him away from continuing to, about to go into the match with the boy, because this was also kind of in where they were doing their, you pair up with a partner or whatever, and you spar, and you let the teachers observe your current strain and whatnot. But after what the boy said, the teachers were about to just come in and pull him away because they just thought he couldn't handle him. But they stopped. Why did they stop to ask? Well, Ace, he's flashing. There's a bright light that's just flashing, like he's about to transform into something higher. And the teachers didn't do anything. They were like, uh-oh, he's transforming. We can't intervene in this now. We can't. This might give him hope. And then hope it happened. Because when the light disappeared, I want y'all to picture this. His hair and eyes turned to a icy blue color. His muscles became bulked. Keep in mind that Ace was 5'7", tall. Right. But when his muscles bulked and he transformed, well, now he went from 5'7" to 5'9", tall. So, yeah, so when he transformed it, but instead of that blonde hair is now a icy blue color, and his eyes are icy blue color. His muscles are bulked, just like how Vegeta's muscles bulked when he fought against Semi-Perfect Cell. And he's a bit taller now. He went from 5'7" to 5'9". But here's the interesting part. His aura is still yellow, while the lightning around him is also yellow. And keep in mind, like I said, his hair and eyes are icy blue color. Which people will say, well, isn't that just Super Saiyan Blue? No, Super Saiyan Blue has electric blue. That's the color of, Goku and Vegeta's hair when they turn to Super Saiyan Blue. It's electric blue. It's not icy blue, it's electric blue. So, the fact that, Ace transformation gave him icy blue hair and icy blue eyes, well, the teachers immediately thought, wait, is this Super Saiyan Blue? But then another academist speaks up and said, no, that ain't Super Saiyan Blue. Look at his hair. It ain't electric blue. It's more of a icy blue. And his eyes. And his aura is still yellow, but the electricity is also yellow. And his muscles are buffed. Literally. And he's now a bit taller. The teachers' academy, the academy teachers stared at awe. The professors were just like, what could he possibly transform into? Because, let me also keep in mind, this transformation is not enhanced by God Ki whatsoever, because Ace never learned a God Ki. He never even gave a shit about what the fuck God Ki was. So, he's still using that regular old Ki. But this transformation boosts his power so much, he rivals the Prodigy Boy. He rivals Super Saiyan Blue. And the professors of the academists, the professors of the academy catch on to this, and they're like, wait, he's on par with our golden Prodigy Boy that's Super Saiyan Blue. So what could possibly happen? Well, the battle commences. That Prodigy Boy versus Ace, which now has unlocked a completely different and unique transformation completely to itself that no one else is able to transform into because of his generics. And boy oh boy, the battle was very intense. Very powerful blows exchanged between the Prodigy Boy and Ace. He keeps on fighting, and he knows he's about to win. He knows he's about to win because he felt the Prodigy Boy, who was using... This is something from the manga, by the way. But y'all remember that Goku concentrated on his body and concentrated all of his aura inside of his body, which increases his power, right? That is what the Prodigy Boy was doing. He was doing that in his Super Saiyan Blue. But it was taking massive strain on his body. And Ace knew. He knew he can't keep up anymore. He's eventually going to have to let go of that, and it'll just all be over. So he keeps on punching, kicking him, shooting tiny little ki blasts and rapid barrages. Well, and small barrages. And eventually that Prodigy Boy gave in and fall. The teachers were astonished that their golden Prodigy Boy that they thought will just be the best time patroller that ever will be seen just got beaten by another time patroller who was always made fun of. Someone that everybody thought was just a disability. Thought that they can never rival anything of Super Saiyan 4 or Super Saiyan Blue or even Super Saiyan God. But yet, this boy proved that logic wrong. The academy, the professors of the academy immediately start rushing towards Ace, asking him, what is this transformation? What did you do? How do you even achieve it? Obviously, Ace was overwhelmed by answers, but he just said, I don't know. It's something different, but familiar at the same time. It's like I'm still in Super Saiyan 2, just it's amped. It's more powerful. It's just enhanced. And so the professors started calling all the scientific, Saiyan researchers that they know to come check this transformation out to see what the hell it is. Some mistaked it as the legendary Super Saiyan, which the scientists said, that ain't the case. It ain't even related to any of them. So, the scientists just, they were just astonished as the professors, because they'd never seen something like this happen before. It's just completely brand new and unique that they just never have seen before, like I said. And this is what one of the scientists took note of. The scientist said, well, Ace still looks like he's in Super Saiyan 2. Just that his hair is more spiked intensely, which, yes. When he transformed into the transformation, I kind of forgot about mentioning that his hair was kind of a bit more spiked than a regular Super Saiyan 2 would be, but just something y'all to use your wild imagination of. And so, anyway, back to the story. The scientists were saying, well, Ace still appears to be in Super Saiyan 2, just that it's more buff, and he got taller with it, with now like icy blue hair and icy blue eyes. And a bright yellow auras with bright yellow lightning around him. And that's when Ace decided to name his own transformation. He called it Akama Super Saiyan 2. Akama is a Japanese name meaning devil, meaning devil and beast. That is what Akama means in Japanese. So he decides to name his transformation that appears to be obvious. He's the only one that can transform into it, and he was the first one to transform into it. He decides to name it Akama. The scientist was like, what? And the boy says, Akama, that's what I said. It means devil, beast. The power is just beastly. I'm going to call it, and since it's like my Super Saiyan 2, I'm just going to call it Akama Super Saiyan 2. The scientists scratched their head at this, but they accepted the name. Akama Super Saiyan 2. It makes sense. The power that's radiating from it is indeed of Super Saiyan 2, but now something, amping it, which is something beastly, as the power that they see emanating from it is quite beastly, because it literally rivals against Super Saiyan Blue. Like I said, the Golden Prodigy boy got this ass whoop in his hand, and his ass handed to him. So, Ace, now with this brand new mysterious transformation that he called Akama Super Saiyan 2, well, let's just say he passed with flying colors. He is now the strongest Time Patroller Academy student that the Academy has ever seen. He walks up to the Academy with his graduation, and now he's officially a Time Patroller member. Supreme Kai of Time took a notice of him and assigned him to small duties here and there, which he passed those small little objectives and missions, obviously in flying colors. So she was like, maybe I should give him some a bit harder missions. like dealing with the time breakers, and in this universe, Turtleless and, Slug is still alive. Right. Obviously, they have battle scars because, our Time Patrol cacks, Molly whops them in the Namek Saga, but in this, they get their battle scars from that, Time Patroller, but now they're kind of more stronger, in a sense, right? They've just been training secretly. And still serving Toa, obviously. So, Ace goes to this mission that was signed to him by the Supreme Kai Time. And when he arrives there, well, he sees, obviously, Turtleless and Slug. Turtleless and Slug take a much greater amped Fruit of the Tree of Might by, the power of the Demon Realm crystals. And, that becomes stupidly strong. So stupidly strong they rival Super Saiyan Blue Goku. I gotta keep it making it interesting. So, I mean, you can't blame creativity, so Ace gets into his fighting stance. What he wears, he's obviously 5'7" tall, dark brown hair with dark brown eyes, a white tannish skin color, and he wears a sweet baby rose colored tank top with dark navy blue jeans, a black belt with black fingerless gloves, and some black boots. Y'all got that picture in your head? Okay. And also keep in mind his his hair, it's long, it's between long and short, but, so, there's something for y'all to go off by. So, Ace gets into his fighting stance, ready to fight them. He hasn't yet turned to a common Super Saiyan 2 yet, but, he begins fighting them in his base, which Turtleless and Slug pretty much kind of mollywopped him around, which, here comes a very interesting part, another part of his generics. When he is fighting in his base, not while in Super Saiyan, but his power can grow exponentially from battle damage, and he can learn while he's fighting, as long as he's in base form. So, he knows it, and he took that knowledge to his advantage while fighting Turtleless and Slug, which, because of him getting mollywopped around, he's sustaining a lot of damage, which also equals a lot of power for him, because, of him being a Saiyan with unique generics. So, he gets a big bashing, but when he stands back up and it takes a breather, kind of recovers a little bit, even though Turtleless and Slug are obviously being cocky, as they are as a typical villain, or cartoon villain to be exact. Well, let's just say that's their biggest mistake. Well, now Ace equals him in strength, even though he still has not yet transformed. This obviously infuriates Turtleless and Slug, which they start lashing out at him idiotically, which pretty much allows them to take advantage of them, make their attacks very sloppy, and just pretty much punish them, counter them, and whatnot. And obviously, he blasts them to oblivion, which makes them permadead, unless Toa does some magical bullshit to revive them, which I don't know how, unless she magically gets some Dragon Balls. and just pushes him back. But I don't think she probably would. She would just probably move on and just take the fight as, a learning curve for, you know, to make her better creation, which everybody knows Mira, but because Mira's just born from such strength, that was kind of the Achilles heel for Toa, which made him kind of turn against him, but not at the same time. But anyway, she takes the data information and puts it in a database for this new creation that she is making. So Ace comes back, and the Supreme Kai of Time is impressed with his battle paralysis and the way how he fighted. She thought it was magnificent. So she puts Supreme Kai of Time puts Ace on break right from that, because he kind of deserves it. I mean, come on. I mean, Turtle is a slug now being at Super Saiyan Blue level, and yet he just beated them with base, even though he was getting this as Molly weapon at first, but took advantage of his generics and turned the tide. So Ace is on break. Trunks, he's out doing some missions of himself, and this is where Ace encounters Vegeta. Now you may be asking, why is Vegeta there? Well, Vegeta, after he completed, and keep in mind this is an Xeno Vegeta, Xeno Vegeta, and not just regular ass Vegeta. He completes the missions that he was tasked with, and he noticed Ace. Noticed that there was something different about Ace than the other Saiyans, which piques his interest. He turns over and asks Ace, "Are you a Saiyan?" Which Ace obviously says, "Well, yes, Vegeta, Mr. Vegeta, I am a Saiyan. Why? Why you ask?" Well, Vegeta just turns to look at him and just says, just asking, kind of piqued my interest with your battle power, which kind of shocks Ace, because Ace was kind of keeping his power concealed, right, hidden, and yet Vegeta just like, you have pretty impressive battle power, which is, you understand why Ace would be shocked, even though he's trying to hide his power. But Ace just turns up and is like, "How much do you know about me?" Well, Vegeta just turns and looks at him and just like, "Well, I just met you today, but I can tell you that you are a very strong warrior. And I'm kind of interested of fighting you." Oh yes, Ace versus Vegeta is going to happen. Well, Ace versus Xeno Vegeta is going to happen. So, Xeno Vegeta picks a secluded space, one that's far from, Content City. And Ace and Xeno Vegeta land down in this remote area, far from Content City, like I said. Vegeta, Vegeta cockily told Ace that he can have his first hit, which Ace just sit there. He felt he was insulted, and obviously he takes a massive ass swing, which puts Xeno Vegeta on guard. Now keep in mind their base forms are at equal terms of strength. Very equal terms of strength. They're both, like, no one does not have the advantage over the other, like I'm saying, pretty much, right? So, they're equal in base strength. So, they exchange a few clashes with each other. You know, Ace firing a little small Ki Blast barrage, while Vegeta retaliates with his own barrage, and also kind of retaliates with a Big Bang attack, a miniature version of a Big Bang attack. And then eventually, they both land a solid hit on each other at the exact same time in the face, which they both casually do the backflip, that you would see, like if Goku and Vegeta was doing, right, if they were training together. So they casually do a backflip. Vegeta says, well, why not take it up a notch? Vegeta turns into Super Saiyan. But which Ace also responds by turning into Super Saiyan 1 as well. But Vegeta noticed something very different. If y'all were paying attention, y'all would know that in his first 2-year time skip, when he was 10, the teachers noticed that his Super Saiyan 1 was different. His Super Saiyan 1 acted like it was amped. Like, it was harder for him to transform into it, but it was stronger than what the other students' Super Saiyan 1 level was. Which Vegeta catches on to this, and Ace right now kind of has a lead over him because his Super Saiyan 1 is much apparently stronger than Vegeta's. Vegeta's like, are you happen to be a legendary Super Saiyan of some sort? Which Vegeta asks casually, which Ace just like, no, I don't have that. He doesn't tell him about his generics or whatever, because he just met Vegeta. Of course he's not going to say something personal like that to him. So, Ace gets back into his fighting stance, and Vegeta also gets into his fighting stance. And they start fighting again, which Ace obviously has a lead over because, well, like I said, his Super Saiyan 1 ain't just a regular Super Saiyan 1. His generics modified it and pretty much gave it an amp of power, which he starts brutally pushing Vegeta back with heavy barrages and whatnot of kicks and fists. And you pretty much hear the fist contacting as it's crackling like if thunder just landed somewhere, as he kept on his rapid barrage, which Vegeta was forced to go into Super Saiyan 2, which, guess what? Even though Vegeta turned to Super Saiyan 2, he still doesn't have a advantage over Ace, but instead now he's equal in strength with Ace. So Ace continues exchanging clashes with Vegeta, which Vegeta starts to notice that his Super Saiyan is completely, there's something different with it, even though he can't physically see any sort of different appearances with his Super Saiyan compared to, his own Super Saiyan. So he was just sitting in his mind, just like, what the hell? So, flipping Ace, bobbing and weaving, doing that 1-2 combination, and whatnot, doing a flurry of kicks. Eventually, as Vegeta went into Super Saiyan 3, which, yes, we have not seen Super Saiyan 3 in, any anime or manga, but, Vegeta does know how to transform into it, but he just chooses not to. But in this scenario, he does transform it, and I mean, what you expect. It's the world of xenoverse. I mean, that's kind of to be apparent, specifically with Xeno Vegeta. So, he turns to Super Saiyan 3, which Vegeta now has an advantage over. And it was his turn to start returning some barrages that he suffered some damage from, and Ace eventually suffers some damage. Now, keep in mind, he can't get any sort of, additional power from the damage he receives, because his generics doesn't allow that unless he's in base form, which then allows it. But even if Ace went back to base form, he already sustained enough damage where if he takes any more damage while being in, base form, it's pretty much just going to be a finishing blow. So, Ace is kind of forced to stay into his Super Saiyan transformation to take most of those hits. Which eventually, after when Vegeta kind of pushed him over to the edge, and then all of a sudden Vegeta turned to Super Saiyan 4, Ace was just like, oh shit, if I don't do something here now, I'm going to be toast. So he amps up his power, he goes to Super Saiyan 2, which you already know. He rivals that of Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta, but Ace knows that it isn't enough. So he was like, should I do it now? Should I turn into my Karma Super Saiyan 2? Which y'all would be immediately answering, hell yes, you're getting your ass whooped. Turn into that and give him those hands. Ace just says, fuck it. He turns into Akama Super Saiyan 1. Keep in mind I just said Akama Super Saiyan 1, not his Akama Super Saiyan 2 transformation, which, yes. So there's pretty much two variants of Akama Super Saiyan. There's, his Akama Super Saiyan 2 that he achieved it when he was 16 against the Prodigy Boy. And you know how that is. But there's also, a Karma Super Saiyan 1, because, if he transformed into what he literally called a Karma Super Saiyan 2, there's literally no way in hell there ain't such a thing of a Karma Super Saiyan 1. So you get how that is. So he turns into a Karma Super Saiyan 1, and now he's on equal footing with Vegeta. Which Vegeta just sees his hair being an icy blue color, and so is his eyes, while his aura is still yellow, with yellow lightning around him, and he's just kind of like, what the fuck? What is this transformation? This obviously ain't Super Saiyan Blue, this is something completely different. And that's when Ace just said, oh, this is a complete unique transformation, thanks to my generics that only I am allowed to transform into, which I call it Akama Super Saiyan. And Vegeta, obviously resets the name. It's like, Akama Super Saiyan, very interesting. But do you think he can keep up with the likes of me? Ace just stays silent, and he pretty much gestures him to bring it on. Which Vegeta comes at him at full force. Which Ace dodges some of his blows, but takes some blows and, gives back some barrages here and there and whatnot. And, the whole, at this point, the realm of xenoverse is kind of shaken from two massive powerhouses literally slamming fists with each other. Which Supreme Kai Time also notices, but doesn't intervene because she doesn't see it yet to be a catastrophic issue. But that's when Ace decided to say fuck it, and he turns to his full power, which is Akama Super Saiyan 2. Where his muscles bulked, and now he turned from 5'7" to 5'9". Tall, and the yellow lightning around him is more apparent, and his hair is way more spiked than a regular Super Saiyan 2. You get it. And that's when Supreme Kai Time just pretty much says this. Oh shit. Which Vegeta just looked back in shock, because he didn't know what to think of this transformation whatsoever. Like, of course, he was just on equal footing with Akara Super Saiyan 1, but now because of him turning into Akara Super Saiyan 2, which is a just completely different form of power, he kind of steps back a bit. Because Ace, now, instead of just having, like, oh, a tiny advantage or, just an advantage, he has a major advantage over Vegeta. And you may be asking, how is that the case? Well, keep in mind, he trained at his Super Saiyan 2 extraordinary during his, during his youth to keep up with other, Super Saiyan 3s and whatnot. So, of course, when he got Akama Super Saiyan 2, he's been practicing with that a lot. All of the flaws that were with it, which one of the major flaws is you kind of lose a lot of stamina while using it. Not a lot of ki now, just stamina to keep up with it because of it being such a brute of a transformation to per se. Not saying that his muscles increase to the size of like, oh my god, it's like fucking Broly or anything. No, it's just bulked, like Vegeta bulked his muscles in Super Saiyan during semi-perfect Cell. That's pretty much what I'm saying, but you pretty much get what I mean. And of course, a power like that is going to just obviously sap stamina, no matter how much you practice with it or whatever. So his stamina starts sapping a little bit, but he knows that he barely has a lot of time within Akama Super Saiyan 2, so he just starts railing on Vegeta, which Vegeta could hardly keep up. It was so bad to the point that even, actually, xenoverse had to came up, which, xenoverse, xenoverse, he's obviously not as strong as Ace, but because now there's pretty much two powerhouses against one powerhouse, you can pretty much why guess Ace will now be struggling, because now he ain't dealing with one target, he's dealing with two targets, which otherwise sap his stamina a little bit faster, because now he has the multitask, which, if you ever multitask in real life, fighting two opponents at once, yeah, that will take a lot of stamina out of you. That'll take a lot of energy out of you too. So, Ace had to be careful, because now Xenoverse also became Super Saiyan 4, and, started helping Vegeta, which Ace, he had to keep up his guard, he had to micromanage that stamina, he had to be careful, he had to play smart by the book, because he couldn't because if he slips up one with his stamina, Akama Super Saiyan 2 is going to literally backfire against him and screw him over. And you may be asking, how is it going to screw him over? Well, if he runs out of stamina, but here's actually the thing. He will actually end up taking double damage. He will take more damage than usual if he runs out of stamina completely, if he's in Akama Super Saiyan 2. This is also kind of apparent with Akama Super Saiyan 1, but it's not that bad. But with Akama Super Saiyan 2, since it's just a massive powerhouse, it literally increases his height from 5'7" to 5'9", and his muscles are bulked like Vegeta, like I said, probably the 100th time, like he did during Semi-Perfect Cell. Vegeta, yeah, if he runs out of stamina, he's pretty much going to take a lot more damage than usual if his stamina goes up. If only if his stamina goes up. So, Ace had to keep his guard up. He got to keep that concentration. He had to keep weaving and whatnot. He had to play tactically. But eventually, well, he managed to push Vegeta back and managed him to get tapped out of, Super Saiyan 4. But his stamina runs out. Oh no. His stamina runs out. He has to go down to the ground, and he's trying to gasp air. He's trying to get back some of his stamina while in combat Super Saiyan 2, which is just absolutely hard for him to do. And Goku realizes this. Goku realized this is his golden opportunity. So Goku started rolling on him, and like I said, he takes double damage. More damage than usual if his stamina has run out. So, you know, Ace, he's getting an ass beating. He's taking a lot more damage than his body can handle, and eventually he gives way. He turns back into base, and he lies unconscious. So, Ace versus Vegeta. Xeno-Vegeta. He won against Xeno-Vegeta, but against Xeno Goku, nah. And the reason for that, well, he got double teamed. Which set to the stamina, you know, too quick, which ended up leaving Ace's downfall. But anyway, you know, he wakes up, he's back with Supreme Kai time, and now he has to recover from his injuries, which his injuries actually is going to give him a boost, because guess what, well, you remember, his generics, if he's in base, you know, you get it, you get it, so, you know, because of him going back to base, and he still had this damages sustained on him, you know, now he can come back stronger like a new baby boy, pretty much. So, you know, he gets up, he takes one step at a time in recovering. Eventually, a couple months pass, he's fully recovered. Right. But now he is in tip-top notch shape. And oh God. Because of that ass whooping he received from Goku, yeah, his base power is pretty high now. So, you know, he's obviously going training, and everything goes on. Everything goes on like normal within the you know, the world of his universe. You know, feud pops up. You know, that arc happens, and this and that. But Ace now has his name written on a tiny little pedestal beside the, you know, beside the, you know, gate where you go into the time nest of honorable time patrollers. And even though Ace had so many, you know, hindrance to him throughout his life, he still managed to become a very great and useful time patroller. But that is all for this video. If y'all liked it, give this video a thumbs up. You don't have to subscribe to me, even though I would appreciate it if y'all did subscribe to me. But anyway, I really hope y'all enjoy the storytelling. This is lore that I completely made for my OC, my Dragon Ball OC, to make it completely unique and different from the rest. And yeah, even though sadly I don't have any pictures of him, because, you know, I mean, I do have pictures, but it's my imagination. It's not like I can cast my imagination for y'all to see what I'm talking about. But yeah, if y'all want to make fan art of it, go ahead. But anyway, that'll be all for this video, and I will see y'all next time. Goodbye.